You know, I've joked about this before, but I said that the most authentic way that you could present yourself to the world is by shitting in public. That's right, shitting in public. Not giving a damn about what people think. Not giving a damn about whether people witness it, whether people know about it, whether people smell it, whether people heard about it, you know. That's the sincerest form of showing yourself to the world, presenting yourself, your most authentic self to the world. Because, you know why? That's when you're the most vulnerable. There's some truth to this. Hear me out, hear me out. As a kid, I used to have this irrational fear of defecating and urinating in public. I don't know what it is, but I have this irrational fear that somehow, if I do this in public, people would know who I am. People would know who the real me is. And I fear that for my life, you know? That's why I avoid doing it in public. And I mean, this is for good reasons as well. A lot of people have this fear. Firstly, it's unhygienic when you do it in public toilets. If you live in Asia, you would know that we don't have the privilege of clean toilets in public. And a lot of the time, if you go to Vietnam, the toilet is actually just a hole in the ground. You would actually have to squat down to do your business. And this is not the case in Western countries. But yeah, in Vietnam and other Asian countries, you don't actually have proper toilets. You would just have to squat down and drop it in the hole. That's why, as a child, I feared doing it in public spaces. You know, I would rather go 3 or 4 days not defecating, holding on to my baby turd. And when I get the chance, when I finally reach home and I finally get to sit on my golden throne, then I unleash the Kraken. I unleash the baby turd that I've been nurturing for the past 3 or 4 days. I call it the great crowning of the king turd. Sorry for being vulgar, but there are good reasons that for me not doing it in public. Firstly, it's unhygienic. Secondly, there's a potential for sexual assault. And maybe it's less common for guys, but I just fear as a kid. I just fear that people would know about my presence, and they would somehow want to watch it. I don't know, that's when you're the most vulnerable. That's when you're the most vulnerable. That's the most vulnerable state in your life that you could ever possibly be in. So maybe my fear was justified. Anyways, this fear was real. And yeah, I didn't like doing it in public places. The funny thing is though, I also, because I fear of doing this in public, I rarely do it in public. I don't get to acknowledge that women also do this. And as a kid, the only women that I came into contact with who I know do these sorts of things, you know, defecating and urinating, were my mom and my sister. They were the only people I considered human beings. And the other girls my age, I saw them as angelic beings. They don't defecate, they don't urinate. I put them on a pedestal. Newsflash, they also do the same things as guys. Sometimes even worse. I'm sorry, but this is the truth. Working in healthcare has opened my eyes. It's like eating the forbidden fruits of knowledge. I wish I could stay in this ignorant bliss, but my eyes have been opened. And working in healthcare has made me realize that this is such a normal human activity. And this sort of conversation is what my colleagues and I talk about at the lunch table, at the dinner table. We talk about people pooping, punamis. We talk about flooding the bed, those sorts of things. I mean, we're not saying this because we like to mock the patients. We're saying this out of love. And we say this because we acknowledge that this is what people do. It is a normal human activity. And we even joked about this. In Vietnam, we have this thing attached to the toilet called a bidet. And there are many other countries who also have the same thing. It's basically like a shower hose for your bum, like a water gun that spray water up your bum to clean the thing. In the Western countries, they don't seem to have these things. They have toilet paper, and it was a cultural shock to me when I first came to Australia because I couldn't understand. I couldn't wrap my head around how people could go a whole day after, unleashing the Kraken and just a couple of wipes. I cannot wrap my head around how they could stay clean. Like if you walk around with that stuff stuck to your bum the whole day, it's gonna get really crusty, man. I don't know what is the perfect ratio of crust to your bum that is considered socially acceptable. I joked about this to my female colleagues and they all laughed, and we all we all talked about this. I shared that in my country we have these things, and they laughed and they said, yeah, we don't really have those things. And yeah, those moments, I know that we have acknowledged, both of us, that male and female, we both do these things. We are equal in a sense. We're not above each other's, because we all defecate and we all urinate. And the message here is that don't think too much, man. Don't think too much. You and I, boys and girls, we all do these things. So don't put anyone on the pedestal. If you can, just talk about pooping to other people, man. I can guarantee you will have a very interesting conversation. Hey, when was the last time you pooped your pants? As always, stay strong, God bless, I love you all. And until next time, I'll talk to you later.